Okay. Hey everyone, this is Live and Local with Debbie, and today I have a special treat. I have a young man with me who is absolutely adorable, I have to say. He's very nice on the eyes. I hope I'm not offending anyone. I hope I'm not offending you.
I don't agree, but thank you.
Well, you don't have to agree. It's everybody else that looks at you. That's
true.
like,
Well,
oh, he's cute.
I have to look at my reflection too, so.
Well, that's true. How often are you looking in the mirror?
I try not to.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I mean as often as anybody else, I guess.
All right. Well, know that you're very good looking.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I have, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Wewan.
We want.
We want to know how to say your name. That's how I always explain
I
it.
like that. We have Jordan Wewan. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Jordan, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you have your guitar, so I hope that means that you're going to be playing live. And do you want to play a little bit first, or do you want to ask some questions, and then we'll...
We can do some questions first.
All right.
That's cool.
So, first question. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Sandusky, Ohio, but I've lived in Port Clinton most of my life.
Okay.
So.
Nice. So, what do you like about Port Clinton?
Not much. In the summertime, it's great, and I stay pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
In the wintertime, though, there's really not much to do. It's a pretty much a ghost town between November and March. So
And that's
April.
more like a resort kind of town, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's right on the lake, and everybody just goes up there to fish. And actually, our biggest attraction is Put-in Bay, and that's not even on the mainland, so it
That's
takes
true.
you away from Port Clinton. That's how great it actually is. Is that the one thing that we have is not even technically Port Clinton. So
Right.
yeah.
So do you play Put-in Bay a lot during the summer?
I've only played there once, a couple of summers ago. I try to avoid it. That's just too crazy for me.
It is crazy, and
Yeah.
it's. I've been there during the day, and it's very family oriented.
Yeah, during the day it's great,
But man,
once the sun goes down,
ooh, there's a lot of
it's-
parties that children should not be a part of.
yeah, anything goes. There.
Yeah.
It's
So you play guitar. Do you play anything else?
yes. Well, I started out playing tuba. Technically, that was my first real main instrument. Even though I started guitar, I was probably about 8 or 9 when I first picked it up, but I didn't really gravitate towards it until I was 11 or so. But yeah, and then since then I picked up drums, bass, a little bit of piano,
Nice.
trumpet, euphonium,
Wow.
bought a ukulele. I've been messing around with that a little bit. So yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Do you have one favorite over another?
I think my favorite thing to play is drums.
Really?
But I love playing just in general. So anytime I get to play guitar or bass or whatever it is, it's cool. But I think drums would be probably my number one.
Yeah. Do you have every one of those instruments that you just mentioned? Do you have one?
All of them except drums.
Okay.
So
Do you plan on getting drums?
I've wanted drums for a long time. I just don't really have space for them. So.
Okay. Do you live in an apartment? Is that?
Well, I had an apartment for a while. Back home now, currently.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I just have never really had the space for drums. So.
I love drums. I can't play it, but I love them. Get your aggression out.
Yeah, it does. That is for sure.
So you've been playing. You started playing when you were how old?
About 11.
About 11, and you just haven't stopped.
Nope.
And now you're an old man of what, 40, 60, 80
Somewhere
years
in there.
old?
I feel
Okay.
like it some days.
Yeah, we all
But-
do.
Now I'm 25. I turned 25 in September.
Oh, okay. Nice.
yeah.
So you've been at it a while.
Yeah, I've been doing the solo thing, making money at it for I think 4 years now.
Okay.
So.
Do
yeah,
you like it doing solo?
I hate it. It's slavery, I think. No, it's great. I love it. I just think it's cool that I get to play shows and people still call me and want to book me. So
Well, that's a good thing.
it's always, as long as they keep wanting to have me play, I guess I'll keep playing. But yeah, no, I love it.
So you were in a band previously?
I've been in a couple of bands. I used to I played bass in a cover band for a while. And then I played drums in a cover band for a while, and I was also in a couple of original projects that didn't really go anywhere.
So what are the pros and cons of being in a band compared to being a solo?
I guess the pros of being in a band, you get to make music with other musicians, and it's always a great experience to play with other people, and because music is sort of a language that it's a language all in and of itself, and so to be able to communicate that with other people at the same time is pretty cool. As far as the solo thing, the pros for that is you just get more money. I don't have to worry about if I want to book a show. If I'm free, I can do it.
Right.
I don't have to call 3 or 4 other guys and say, "Hey, are you available?" And then one guy's can't do it, and so I have to cancel or find somebody else. And so it's just easier to arrange things. And
Do you ever see yourself going back into a band?
eventually, yeah, I've been talking with a friend of mine and just trying to get a group going, and been talking with a couple other musicians too, trying to get some other projects off the ground.
Nice.
So eventually, yeah, I'd like to be in a band again.
But still do the solo thing?
Yeah, this is my main thing and my main focus.
If you do join a band, what genre would you like to do?
Well, the plan right now is to do my originals and sort of go that route. So yeah, that would be, I think, the main focus for that. If I were to be in a band, I wouldn't want to do another cover band or anything like that. So
yeah. What genre would you consider yourself?
I always just say singer-songwriter because I don't really know what else. I guess it's sort of like folky, contemporary pop. There's a little bit of country flair on the record.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess singer-songwriter is the best umbrella term to kind of
right.
Hold all
It's so
terms.
funny because nobody wants to be labeled. But yet we always fall back on the labels because I think it's so, sometimes without labels, it's so abstract, people don't know what to do with it,
Yeah.
So I think with music, we kind of have to keep in mind that just because it's not rock or just because it's not country, doesn't mean that we won't like it. We still will like it. We just maybe need to broaden terms a little bit, which...
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many genres and subgenres of everything. And,
right.
And there's variations on, you have a band that sounds like Zeppelin, and then you've got like the Stones, and you've got the Doors and the Beatles, and it's all, it's rock, but it sort of falls under different subgenres, I guess, in a way. It's not categorized like that usually. It's just rock or classic rock to most people, but it's different. And it's the same way with other styles of music too. There's so many different areas of expertise. There's just different colors and flavors everywhere.
And I think that's genre. Great. It should be like that.
Yeah, of course.
What was your first experience with music?
Well, I've been just singing and pounding on things ever since I was a kid. In the back seat, sitting in my car seat, and just singing away. And
do you come from a musical family?
My dad plays guitar, and my mom used to sing and was in band in high school. But I wouldn't say that we're a musical family. I'm definitely the musical one, I guess. But music's always been around as a kid, and I grew up. A lot of the music that I liked as a kid it was music that I was exposed to by my parents.
Okay.
Like Queen and AC/DC and the Beatles and Genesis and just all sorts of different stuff.
Cool. So are you an only child?
No, I have a younger sister.
Okay. Is she play anything? Or?
She was in orchestra and band in high school.
Okay.
But now that she's in college, I don't think she's doing anything with music or anything. She's
kind of hard in college.
Well, she's not. She liked it, but that wasn't really her main focus. She was more into like cheerleading and stuff like that.
All right.
So
tell me, because I just purchased the CD, which I'm very excited about, and I get to play it. Um, what is your now? These are all originals, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There are 11 songs, and they're all originals. What is your creative process? If you need to sit down and start writing for the next CD, how do you do it?
Well, I don't ever really think of it in terms of I'm writing for an album. Like I don't sit down and say I'm gonna write 10 songs or 12 songs and they're all gonna go on this album. I just am always sort of writing all the time. Um, Usually it just starts off. I'll pick up my guitar and just start playing something, and I'll hear a melody, and if sometimes I'll hear a line or just a word, and I'll just go from there, and
Okay.
that'll just sometimes turn into something.
So you don't sit down and say, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock. You know, it's time to sit down and write."
No, I wish I did sometimes because I could use the discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, usually just when I'm in the mood and something hits me, I just pick the guitar up or whatever, piano, and just kind of start feeling out what I'm hearing, and sometimes something comes out of it and sometimes nothing.
Have you experienced writer's block?
Oh, all the time.
What do you do when that happens?
Just wait it out, I guess, and hope that something will strike soon. Because I've been through periods of time where I've gone several months without really writing anything significant, and I write all the time. But as far as writing stuff that I'm happy with and full songs that I want to release, those come about usually every few months or a couple months. But yeah, there's been periods of time where I've gone like 6, 7, 8 months and haven't really written much of anything, and it's scary.
Yeah, it is. So you don't have any tricks. You're not throwing a bucket of cold water on yourself or anything like that.
No. Sometimes the only way to do it is to just do it, and so that's why I was saying I wish I was more disciplined. Sometimes I could just go in and say, okay, it's this time, let's sit down and write a song, but that just isn't the way I work.
Right. Do you, in your shows, do you do covers at all?
Mostly covers, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are you building up originals do you think at any one point you'll do all originals?
well, I used to do half and half, but
Okay.
I've just found that people don't really respond to the originals, and I do throw originals in there, and I get requests for my originals too. But yeah, I mean, I've got probably 50 or so original tunes. I just don't play them all
Okay.
live. So, but the goal is to get to where I'm playing shows that people want to come see me for my original music. I'm not
Right.
just the entertainment at the bar that night.
Right.
So,
Okay. And that takes a lot of work, but, hopefully, because your name is getting out there. I mean, every time I'm
Yeah.
on Facebook, I see something, about you and where you're playing and things like that. So that's cool.
yeah, it's this year I think I've already reached the number of shows that I had booked last year. So that's
Really?
yeah, and I did the same thing the year before where I booked the same amount and then more as the year went on. So it's,
Fantastic.
yeah, so I'm
Good
just
for you.
booking more and more shows, which is cool.
Nice. So what do you like about cover songs? I mean, do you think, okay, I'll do a cover because it's easy?
Well, learned a bunch of covers because I got a show that I needed to fill, I think, 2 hours of time, and I didn't have 2 hours of originals at that point, and so I needed to learn like a full set of covers just so I had enough time to fill out the show.
Okay.
And then I just started adding more covers to the list as I found songs that I wanted to learn, or as people would request songs and say, hey, do this one, and so I would add it to the list.
Cool. So does this CD have a name besides your name?
I guess it's just self-titled.
All right.
I couldn't come up with the title, and I didn't want to have like a title track because I didn't know if there was. I didn't think any of them really summed up the whole album.
Okay.
So
I like it. It's black and it has his initials on it. It's very simple. And like I said, there are 12 songs on it. Tell me about it. Is this your first CD?
it's my first one.
Okay.
I've attempted a few other times and haven't been successful, and so this time when I finally was starting to as the process continued and I was starting to see it all unfold, and started to realize that, yeah, I kind of had something here, and I think this time would be the one that I put out, especially since I was dumping a bunch of money into it. So yeah, this is the first one, and I'm super excited that finally, after all this time, I've got a CD. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because, like I said, I'm really excited. Where are you? Are you selling these online or?
I'm selling them online, and if people get a hold of me, I sell them just personally or at my shows. They're also available at a couple of stores in Port Clinton.
Okay.
So, a couple of places you can get it.
Nice. And do you charge for your autograph?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. That's great. You heard it here. He does not charge for his autograph. It's very exciting. So I may be getting his autograph before he leaves. So now are you going to do like a local tour? Or what are you going to do?
The goal is to do more like a regional thing, and hit, Michigan and Illinois and Kentucky and Pennsylvania and West Virginia and just sort of all the surrounding states. And that's the goal right now, is to kind of expand the radius from Northwest Ohio to just this end of this region of the country.
Okay.
And then eventually nationwide and maybe worldwide. I guess that would be the ultimate,
The ultimate goal.
I guess. I mean, it's not, fame isn't something I fantasize about. I just want to be able to do this consistently for a living.
Right.
But, and traveling's fun. So I'd like to be able to just travel and make music.
Now, are you booking your own shows?
Yeah. I get a lot of calls now from people, which is nice, because it's, in years past, it's been sort of an uphill climb, just having to call a bunch of people and send out Facebook message after Facebook message and get maybe one response. And, now I've got people that are calling me, and places that have had me in before are saying, hey, we want you to come back. So that's been nice.
Excellent. Did you produce this?
I produced it with a guy named Chuck Mock. He has his own studio in his basement in Perrysburg.
Okay.
He and I, we sat down there, and it didn't feel like didn't really feel like we were working. We were working hard, but it's a really comfortable, relaxed environment, and we just kind of went down there every day and just kind of told jokes and had a good time, and when all the smoke cleared, we had a record.
Excellent.
So that was cool. It was a really, really fun process.
Good. Well, that makes it easier too. Do you think when you do your next CD, you'll go back there, or you're not sure yet? Or is that too far out?
I would like to. I would like to keep working with Chuck. On this record, I had musicians come in, and I'm thinking for the next record, I want to play everything myself. That's sort of what I'm planning on, and I'm planning on doing something pretty different from what I did here. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet, but that's sort of where I'm leaning.
Okay.
So
Nice. Now, did you write all these songs by yourself, or did you collaborate with anyone?
Yeah. I've tried to in years past, but I've never really collabed with anybody as far as writing goes. A little bit here and there. I've had input from people, but I've never started a song from scratch. But yeah, these are all ones that I wrote by myself.
Cool. Do you think that's an avenue you'd like to go down at some point?
Yeah. I am definitely looking to get in and start working with other musicians, and I've got friends that are songwriters that want to get together and write. So one of these days it'll happen.
Nice.
But yeah, and the cool thing was with this, all the songs I wrote, but the parts that you hear, like the keyboards and the lead guitar and some of the bass and the drums, and the cello and the string bass and all that, I had some ideas for all that stuff, but a lot of them I just kind of told the musicians to do what you do, and
Okay.
So they had some input there, which was really cool to hear.
Now, are they all local musicians?
I think everybody that we had is based out of Toledo. Chuck, the guy that runs the studio, played drums.
Okay.
We had Classic Dave Choir on bass. Jay Ronquillo played bass on a couple of tunes and upright bass.
Nice.
Grace Mock, Chuck's daughter, played keys. A guy named Stephen Cook played cello on the record. I think he's from Michigan, though. Then we had Matt Havers from Last Born Sons played lead guitar. Ron Nish from Athens Wheeler played some rhythm guitar and some lead guitar. Jess Kewen came in and did some backing vocals. And the guy that mixed and mastered it, Greg Leonard, played some guitar and did some string arrangements. So, and then I even played bass on the tune, which was cool.
Yeah, I just saw that. How did you find all these guys? Did you know them, or were they recommendations?
Some of them I knew. Others were friends of Chuck's. And
Okay.
When we were looking for people to come in, he did an amazing job saying, I know exactly who to call for this. And like Stefan, I had never met him before. And he came in and laid down some cello, and that just took it to the next level. And
Right.
so he made a really good call on bringing in some of these musicians. And yeah.
Good. So what, was it harder than you thought it would be, or did it meet your expectations?
It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It wasn't easy, but I was expecting it to be more difficult, just because I had tried to make records in the past, even though most of my attempts were on my own. I sort of expected it to be a little more difficult, and it was actually just a really pain-free process, and it was just a blast. So
Excellent.
I had a good time making
Well,
this
that's
record.
good. That's good. And how long did it take you to record from start to finish?
We started recording mid to late August, and we finished like mid-November, late November, I
Okay.
think. So a few months.
Cool. So let me ask you this. Who inspires you, musically or just otherwise?
Well, I guess early on, my influences, I was really into Nirvana and Foo Fighters and Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains, and really into the 90s. That was sort of my inspiration for a long time, and that's kind of how I got started writing songs and recording and making my own demos and things like that. And then later on, I moved on to songwriters, like James Taylor and John Prine and guys like that, Jim Croce, Tom Waits, Leonard Cohen, and so that's been sort of more my bread and butter lately,
Okay.
just the songwriters.
So if you're having a crappy day and nothing seems to be going right, who are you going to turn to music-wise that will just put you in that space?
Lately, I've been listening a lot more to John Prine. Beck's newest record is pretty upbeat, brilliant record. Listening to Mayor Hawthorne, Chance the Rapper,
Okay.
Nas.
So there's a nice mix in there.
Yeah, I'm into all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'm one second I'm listening to Hank Williams, and the next second I'm listening to Eminem, and it's never
Nice.
know with me. I'm into pretty much anything. So.
Okay. Do you have a day job?
I don't.
He needs a job, folks. Give
No,
him a job.
that's what I'm trying to stay away from.
He needs a musical job, folks.
Yes.
Okay. So then you're doing okay. I mean, you're pretty happy the way things are going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not where I need to be or where I want to be, but
Right.
for now, it seems to be moving along steadily. So that's
Good.
That's what's important.
What's your upcoming schedule like?
It's pretty busy. I've got right now my next show I think is at Music Go Round in Toledo.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing they do like an original songwriter showcase kind of thing there, so I'll be doing one of those. I'll be at the Dirty Bird in Toledo at the beginning of March, and then that's when I start to get busy again, and I've got shows all over Sandusky and Port Clinton and Toledo and
Okay.
all those places.
Nice. If you need musical equipment, You know, whether it be strings or picks or you need something fixed, where do you go?
I order my strings either online or Musician's Alley in Sandusky. Um,
Oh my gosh, I haven't been there in a long time.
yeah, that's a cool
Wow,
spot.
it is a
Yeah.
cool spot.
Yeah, I go there, and actually recently I took this to get fixed. It was having some problems cutting in and out, and so I took it to get fixed there. And then another one of my guitars is there right now getting fixed. So,
Okay.
yeah.
How many guitars do you have?
Probably 10.
Okay.
They're not all mine. A few of them are my dad's, but he doesn't really play them, so I've sort of claimed them as my own. But yeah, I'd say probably about 10. So
Acoustic, electric, or just...
both, yeah.
Okay. Nice. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite brand? Right now you have a Taylor.
Yeah, this is Swift. Yeah, I name all my guitars.
Okay.
I think everybody does though.
Pretty much.
But yeah, this is my Taylor Swift. So, but yeah, I've got a Fender named Julie. It's an acoustic electric. I've got a Squier Strat named Scarlet. Another Fender Strat named Red.
Notice they're all girls.
Yes.
Just
Well,
saying.
Swift's a boy, I think. I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
All
I don't know.
right.
This is
There's
weird. I
nothing
don't wanna
wrong in
talk
that.
about this.
All right, we're moving on.
I don't want to
So,
talk about my stupid names for my guitars. This is dumb.
so what other equipment do you have? If you're going to do a show, what do you usually have with you?
Just my PA system and my guitar.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay, so you keep it simple.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you do when you're bored?
Watch TV. Write songs if I'm feeling like it. I just recently pulled out my old PlayStation 2, so I've been having some fun with that.
Okay.
When the weather's nice, I go for walks.
Will the weather ever be nice again?
Whenever we're in this kind of thing, I always think it won't be, but then spring comes and everything's cool again. So I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too.
Hoping sooner rather than later.
Man, I can't.
Damn groundhog sees a shadow every day.
I
though, so.
know. So let me ask you, baseball or football?
I don't really
What?
care for either. I'm not really a sports guy, so
Really?
no. I
All
used to
right,
be.
This interview's over.
If you would have asked me when I was 8 or 9, it would have been baseball for sure. I loved baseball. I played when I was a kid. Little league, t-ball, all that.
Okay. All
So,
right. Well,
I used to be into it. I just am not
All
a
right.
big sports guy anymore.
I suppose that's okay. So, what social media do you use? Do you have a website?
Working on the website still.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been. It's been a little bit since I've worked on it. I should probably get back into it now that the record's out. But yeah, I'm working on a website, and I've got a YouTube channel. I've got a SoundCloud. Actually my SoundCloud I have to update too. I've got Facebook. I used to have Instagram, but not anymore. I don't have Twitter. Me personally, I wish I could just do away with all social media, but for now, since I'm doing it all myself,
Right.
I gotta be on Facebook and all that. So
Okay. So, somebody or a club owner or just somebody wants to be like, hey, is there one better than the other for you, or just any of those ways?
usually it's either Facebook message or somebody gets my number from somebody and gives me a call.
Okay.
That's usually how people get in contact with me.
Okay. So you're pretty aware of what's going on, and you're on these.
Oh, I don't know if aware is the word. I don't know if I'm ever really aware of what's going
Okay.
on. Sometimes.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple, and people know how to get a hold of me, and I'm usually on the lookout for people getting a hold of me on Facebook, because that thing with the message requests, and you have to go in and
Yeah.
it doesn't alert you, and so sometimes I go in and I've got 2 or 3 in there of people wanting to book me, and so
Okay.
I try to stay on top of that.
Do you think with the website that'll alleviate some of those problems, or it just depends?
No, I think the website anymore is just for show, just to kind of say, hey, I'm serious about this, and I've got like a professional thing that you can visit if you want to see what I'm all about.
Okay.
So
Okay, going in that vein, let me ask you about record companies. Do you think record companies are still viable in this day and age?
I think the independent label definitely is it can be a powerful thing. I don't think the big four, or if there's even the big four still left, like
Right.
Sony and RCA and Capitol and all that. I don't really see the use for any of those these days, because now with the internet, it's so easy to get your music out there, and you don't have to be signed to a label for somebody to hear your stuff. I mean, I'm not on a label, and I just put a record out, and
Right.
you know,
So do you think the days of big arena tours and shows are over?
I don't think those are over. I just don't. I just don't think the big record company record deal kind of thing is really relevant. But I still, I mean, you have artists that are still selling out stadiums. So
Right. Okay.
I don't think those are going by the wayside anytime soon.
Who do you like as far as today's artists?
Um,
I know you mentioned, a few of them.
I've been digging. There's a band called Deer Tick that's one of my favorites. They're not huge, but they're getting bigger. As far as bands that are popular and artists I'm into, I mean Ed Sheeran. Trying to think who else.
Do you listen to your own stuff?
Uh,
Do you ever think, hey, I'm in the mood for me?
no, not usually. I usually listen to my own stuff when it's been a long time.
Okay.
And I kind of go back to it. I'm like, that sounds cool, and I'll sort of explore that, listen to it a couple times. But then no, I don't usually listen to my stuff just to jam out to it.
Do you find yourself critical of it?
Yeah, it's with every listen I find something else that I don't like, or I keep hearing the same thing
Right.
that I found 100 listens ago, and it just keeps getting louder and louder, and it just I can't do it sometimes.
Okay. Is there any place in particular you would like to play? Whether it be someplace local or someplace huge?
Not really any venues in particular. Just any venue that welcomes original music and has a crowd that is going to be attentive to that.
Okay. That's fair.
So.
Let's see. Do you use any pedals or anything? Any effects?
All I have is it's a little TC Electronics. It's like a pickup enhancer, so it makes the pickup inside my guitar sound more natural. But that's the only pedal that I use. I don't use any kind of like reverb or loop or anything.
So if you we'll go back to you joining a band, would you be the main singer?
Ideally, I would try to be, at least a big part of it. Maybe have someone else share vocal duties and writing duties, but yeah, I think the main focus, if I were to form a band right now, would be to do my own stuff and be the front man.
Okay. And playing rhythm guitar, some lead, or just a little bit of
Rhythm mostly. Not so much lead. I'm not real great at solos, especially improv. But.
Okay. All right. Do you want to play a little bit? And then I got a couple more questions for you.
Sure. Yeah. What do you want to hear?
I want to hear everything. Every single song that you know.
All right. Well, here's the record from top to bottom.
All
I'll play
right.
that first, and then I think I might have a set list in my case I can pull out.
There you go.
So.
Sit back, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'll do something off the record.
Let's do My California Home.
All right.
Was that not a good choice?
I wouldn't have chosen it, but it's up to you.
All right, this is the first song on the new CD, the self-titled CD, and it's called My California Home.
All right, here we go.
drink my morning coffee, but the flavor's masked by cigarette smoke. Oh, and if you don't hear me laughing, it's 'cause I didn't really understand the joke. As I hear the cold wind whisper right outside of my front porch. Oh, I begin to dream about my California home. I wake up in Ohio, but these days I dream about the Golden Coast. Oh, where everybody's so damn cool and so damn hip and so damn good at what they love the most. To be in California, the world might finally know my name. So I continue dreaming of my California home. Oh, my California home. California dreaming. The mamas and the papas said it best. 'Cause when I'm California dreaming, it's a place where I can finally get some rest. I'll be high up in the mountains, or in my penthouse suite in Hollywood Hills. Oh, until then, I just keep on longing for my California home.
That was excellent. I am so
Thank you.
glad I chose that.
Thank you very much.
That was wonderful. All right, your turn. You pick one.
All right. Should I do an original? Should I do a cover?
Oh, I don't know.
Should
Whatever.
I do
both.
All right. I'm gonna do one that's it's not on the record. It'll be on the next one, I think. Thank you.
That was
That was it.
That, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
This is this one's called Into the Sun,
Okay.
formerly called Untitled Number 2.
I have a bunch of those.
Well, I only have one. Well, I had two, but I still have one called Untitled. But yeah, this is Into the Sun. Temperamental.
Never wanted to live in such a place where the houses and cars and people all look exactly just the same, and the porch numbers all have 4 digits in their name. And my kid made honor roll stickers on the backs of their matching SUVs. The same neighbors that live on either side, they all cover their noses while they're up in the air with their pride. The same ones who go to church and never sin, always talking about how they're so much better than you or me or her or him. And I don't know what happened to this world, what to do to keep it all from hurling itself into the sun. A metaphoric one, the kind where respect is sometimes bought and sometimes never won, and sometimes never won. All the kids in school right down the street, they teach them to be kind to everything and everyone they ever meet. Some kids don't listen to adults and grow to think that they can do no wrong and nothing ever really is their fault. But are we really who's to blame when they pick you first or last in dodgeball, all because of your first or your last name? And when superiors don't care that you walk into their building and the first thing that gets thrown into the air is all concern for how we feel, no matter what was said or done, as big or as how small as it may seem. And I don't know what happened to this world, or what to do to keep myself from hurling myself into the sun. A metaphoric one, the kind where compassion's sometimes rendered, but often never shown, and sometimes never won, and sometimes never won.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I love songs with the message.
Thank you.
Do you think that songs like that still affect people?
I hope so.
Do you like songs with a message? I mean, do
Oh,
you
yeah.
listen to that more often than not?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. For me, music serves two purposes, either like reflection and messages, or just having a good time. So if I'm listening to something like that, it would be because I'm in the mood to sort of get introspective and dig deep. And then when I'm listening to something in the car and I'm just kind of bouncing around and singing, that's just all for fun. But yeah, I think predominantly I listen to stuff with a message. So.
Yeah, I think sometimes we've gotten away from a lot of, at least in a lot of popular music, the singer-songwriter, and away from the message. Although, it seems also with the state of the country, people are finding ways to express themselves positively through music. And I think because I write too, and I feel like it means so much more. It feels like, well, I'm not going to go and burn this building down, or I'm not going to go beat this person up, right. But I can still just be as powerful by writing a song. Yeah,
definitely.
And that was amazing.
Thank you.
That was so cool.
Thank you very much.
What do you think of today's radio?
I don't listen to the radio.
You don't? Not at all?
I can't say that I'm hip to the scene and what's popular. I'm a little bit familiar with it, but I don't, I stick to just YouTube and SoundCloud and my phone and whatever I want to listen to. I don't listen to the radio too much.
Okay. Is there a reason why you don't?
I can listen to whatever I want. I just have more control.
Okay. Fair enough.
Commercials. Well, I shouldn't say no commercials because I use YouTube and there's ads.
There's a ton of commercials on that now.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on musicians that talk about politics? And right now, the only one that is coming to mind is like Bruce Springsteen. He's always been very big on expressing his views publicly about politics. So how do you feel about the two coming together? Music and politics, not Springsteen. I mean, unless you want to talk about Springsteen.
Yeah, the boss. I don't know. I guess I've attempted political songs in the past, and I guess the last one would be kind of political in a way, not necessarily like Republican, Democrat, or anything political, but
right.
Just
humanness.
Yeah, I guess political in that sense. I don't know. I think it's great if you can use music to propel your message, and if you can do it right, I think a political song can be really powerful. But yeah.
Right. Do you think? Because I've spoken to people that feel musicians don't have a place, actors don't have a place, in politics, or don't have a right to talk about politics. Do you have an opinion either way?
I think, like I said, when done right, it's powerful, and I think if you have a duty to change the world, because that's kind of what we're trying to do as musicians, is change the world in a way. So if you have a way to do that, if you have an outlet, if you've got a guitar and a microphone, and that's how you get your message out to people, then yeah, do it. So I would say if you can do it correctly, it can be powerful. And like I said, it's almost like a duty sometimes. Right. So yeah, but as far as like my personal opinions, like I won't sit here and talk about who I voted for or
right. how
I lean on this issue or that issue, just to kind of keep my professional career out of my personal life and vice versa. So.
Yeah. Well, I think wish more people thought that, I think it causes too many arguments that are unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, where I'm at in my career, I'm trying to go up, and I don't want to say the wrong thing.
You don't want to piss anybody off.
People, right?
Exactly. Do you purchase CDs, or is everything?
Yeah. Well, I used to until about a year ago.
Okay.
The CD player in my car broke, and I haven't fixed it or anything. But yeah, I would make like special trips to like Best Buy or Walmart.
Best Buy's no longer doing CDs.
Are they not?
Yeah, they said they're no longer
doing
doing that.
I've been there, but yeah, I used to make trips just to go look at the CD collection, and I'd walk out with 3 or 4.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about records? When was the last time you bought a record?
last year, a little over a year ago, I bought George Harrison, All Things Shall Pass.
Okay.
And then I bought Willie Nelson, David Allan Coe record that I actually haven't listened to yet. So
Okay,
my record
cool.
player's been in storage. But yeah, I've got several records that I bought, and that's I'm definitely interested in vinyl. It gets expensive though, depending on where you go.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I've got a friend that collects vinyl, and I'll just go over and we'll sit and listen to records for hours. So
Would you ever try to record a record?
I've thought about getting some vinyls pressed of my album.
Nice.
Just to do maybe like 20 or 25, do like a special giveaway or something. So
Let me know. I'll do it. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea I've thought about.
Okay.
So
Nice. All right. I like that. Let's see. So, what do you do when you're playing live and you make a mistake? Have you found that you're getting better at handling them? Do you admit your mistake, or you just keep going?
I just keep going usually. Sometimes if it's bad enough and obvious enough, I'll laugh, and sometimes people pick up on it that I am laughing at myself, and so they'll laugh too. So it's kind of a nice little moment there that you share with the audience. So.
Do you get as scared as you once did?
No, because I mean that's kind of the point of live music, I think, is
Right.
mistakes, because anybody can make a record and have it sound perfect when they play it a million times before anybody hears it. But live, I mean, you got that one moment, and that's sort of makes it special.
Right. Yeah, I like it when an artist, can make a mistake and own it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you listen to so many of those like old jazz records or just old records in general, from the 60s and 70s, and there's a note that's out of time, or somebody's out of tune, or somebody flubs a note or something, and it's there forever, and it kind of gives the song character and makes it what it is,
Right. What were you like in high school?
I don't know, I was just kind of the kid that kept to himself. I still am. I have a wide circle of friends, but pretty solitary person. I try to keep to myself most of the time. So that hasn't changed. I am a little more outgoing now, though, than I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could call me. I guess I was the band geek.
Okay.
I suppose that's what I was all about in school. But yeah, I just sort of didn't really have a place to go.
And music was your outlet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I've got one more very important question to ask you. And then will you play another song?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you ready for this question?
I'm a little nervous.
Well, you probably should be. Okay. All right, most important question. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, a penguin walks through that door here at my studio right now and is wearing a sombrero. What would you ask him? And why do you think he's here? Take a moment.
Okay.
Because I know it's deep.
Is this like when a therapist asks a question and your answer determines,
No, I just
crazy
thought
or
it was
not,
a
is
funny
it?
question, and I just want to see what you say.
So a penguin walks in with a sombrero, and
Yes.
I have to ask why he's here, and
Yeah, like what would you say to a penguin that just walks in through the door and is like, hey, and he's wearing a sombrero? I mean, don't forget that.
I would probably just laugh and holy shit, it's a penguin wearing a sombrero. Like that's, I would be confused more than anything.
Because it's a penguin wearing a sombrero, right?
And why is he inside?
Right, because it's probably too freaking cold for him.
Well, he likes the cold. So
He's stupid. I'm just saying. No offense to any penguins that could be listening right now. But,
stupid birds can't even fly.
right? But they are kind of cute.
Yeah, they are.
Especially when they fall and they slide,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my very
Actually, can I change my answer? It would be
Absolutely.
Aww. If a penguin and a sombrero walked in, that's probably what I would say.
Yeah,
Aw.
I think I'd question more the sombrero than the penguin. Maybe.
Yeah, that's. I guess you're right.
I mean, it's
They're-
cold,
they're
so there's
both-
a penguin.
Right.
But why the sombrero?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but we really need to find a penguin with one.
We do. That's got to be a thing somewhere.
It could be a song.
It could be a song.
We should write it for the next album. So,
Penguin in a sombrero.
I mean, how much more perfect would that be?
Well, if it was a penguin in a sombrero doing something impressive.
Because the penguin with the sombrero isn't impressive enough?
No, it's very impressive.
Oh,
but
okay.
if he was doing something impressive, that would make it even more perfect, I guess.
Such as what? Tap dancing?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. A tap dancing penguin and a sombrero.
Yes.
Maybe he can tap dance around the hat because they do that.
That's true. They do that.
So.
Okay, so I
That'd be
expect a song next time on a penguin and a sombrero.
All right. Next time, if you have me back, I will.
Oh, I'm
try.
definitely having you back. I am definitely having you back. This is too perfect.
Okay. Well, going the route of mistakes in live performances, I've never played this one live before, and I'm just sort of I'm learning it still.
Okay.
So I might screw it up.
Excellent.
And I don't know what key to do it in either, so we're gonna find
Okay.
out together.
All right. I'm excited.
All right. This is little John Prine.
All the snow was turned to water.
that was great. I didn't hear
Thank you.
any mistakes.
Thank you very much.
That was perfect.
I didn't mess the words up, so
Okay then.
I'm really proud of myself for that.
Well, I am glad. No, that was great.
Thank you.
That
Thank you
was
very
very
much.
great. I appreciate you coming down here to
Yeah. Absolutely.
to do this interview, and I definitely will play your CD, which I'm very excited about. And next time you're ready to record, let me know. We'll get you out on the radio again, and
Sure.
hopefully I'll catch a live show soon,
Definitely.
and we can
Yeah.
Do some recording of that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. That'd be cool.
this is Live and Local with Debbie at 106.1, and thank you for listening in, and we will be playing some more, so stick around.